Hey guys, Kayak Maniac here. Thanks for tuning in to another Tips and Tricks Tuesday. I'm super pumped to do another one today. Today we're going to be talking about a very unique bait, something I keep in my tackle box year round, and that is the jerkbait. Stay tuned, we're going to go over some tips and tricks that I've learned, and I hope you guys learned something. Alright, what's up guys? We got the fishy! Check out that. Nice fishy. Alright guys, well let's get into it. So the jerkbait is a great bait to be used year round. It's a great thing to have in your tackle box. It's a great way to imitate an injured bait fish and get those big reactions on those big bass. It is such a fun bait to use, such a fun way to catch fish. And me, as you know, as I've been fishing, I've been using this bait a lot, and I've learned that the way you twitch it and how long you take in between pauses and how long you let it sit in the water really affects when you're going to catch those fish or if you're going to catch them. Again, it's great for colder water, colder weather. So when it's cold weather, you want to take some more time between pauses, give it a little bit of a twitch here. You don't want the bass to work forward too much because they're already going to be lethargic, tired with the water temperatures. So again, play around with that. Take more time when it's cold. See what those bass want that day and what they're in the mood for. But again, one cast you wait 30 seconds and then twitch. Another bait cast you 45 seconds and twitch. Again, it's all about what's going on that day and how the fish are reacting. So another thing I found out when I've been fishing this bait is the line affects the way you're fishing the jerkbait. So if you're fishing a sinking jerkbait, you definitely want to tie on some fluorocarbon. If you're using a floating jerkbait, you definitely want to put on some monofilament. They work differently in the water, and they will help you benefit with the jerkbait that you're using. Again, this bait is not only for open water. You can use it near structure or anything like that. You just gotta be careful not to get it hung up on anything. But again, try open water, try other areas, and try to see what those bass want. So now let's get into the different types of jerkbait. So starting off, we got the soft body jerkbait, which is kind of like a swim bait. You got the hard body, which is the normal one everybody uses, the plastic made ones. You got the floating, the sinking, and the suspending. Now the floating is best for beginners because it remains on the surface and the action only happens when you're twitching it. Sinking, again, it's in the name, it's going to sink down in the water. It's good for deep areas of cover. It's good for structure if you want to get near that. Suspending is going to suspend up in the middle of the water, so keeping it underwater for a longer period of time, keeping it in the strike zone. So that's a great way to use a suspending jerkbait. If I'm fishing like open, shallow water, I'll tend to throw a floating jerkbait. The deep water with rocks and structures, I'm going to use a sinking one, and the majority of the lake, I'm going to use a suspended one. So another thing I've learned is you don't want to use a rod that's too big. You definitely want to use one that's maybe up to like 6'6" would be the longest one I would use. It's just easier to control, easier to twitch the bait, easier to create that movement for those bass to strike. When you are fishing in clear water, you do want to keep the jerkbait moving, because if you don't, the bass can see it clear as day, and they'll know it's an artificial lure. They may not go for it. Darker water, you have a little bit of more leeway with that, but again, you got to play around with different retrieves, play around with different twitches, and just see what those bass want. Make a mental note on everything around you on each cast, and just play around. So guys, just to wrap things up, I want to thank you for taking the time to checking out this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Please keep supporting me. I'm really enjoying doing this and leaving these tips and tricks Tuesdays. Hope you guys are learning something. Hope you learned something today about the jerkbait that you didn't know. But again, this is stuff that helps me fish better with the jerkbait, and I hope it will too for you. But again, take this and put it in your tackle box. Get those different variations, those different colors, and keep them in your tackle box. You're going to need it. It's a great bait to use. It's really fun to catch fish on. But again, thanks for the support, guys. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next week on a new video, Tips and Tricks Tuesday. Peace!